Sunak had a very, very big week, and the Sunday Telegraph splashes with his new plans. It says the Brexit tax cuts to save the economy, and also free ports all around. In the UK and China are deteriorating quite substantially at the moment. That is a story that's going to dominate, I would suspect, for weeks to come. Now, I'm joined, as I said, by Katie Balls of The Spectator and Chris Mason, the owner of the most famous haircut in Britain at the moment, because you had your haircut on live television, Chris.
Yes, that was my attempt to ensure that I got an appointment on the first day, so last Saturday.
It kind of worked.
Yeah, courtesy of the Breakfast Television planning desk, they managed to find me an appointment, so I thought it was only fair I'd take a camera in tow with me.
Good man. Now, you're starting with the Sunday Express and the border story.
Yeah, so our old friend Brexit has been on a siesta, hasn't it, from the front pages for the last 6 months or so. It is awaking from its slumber, front page in the Sunday Express, featuring, as you say, Michael Gove, the Cabinet Office Minister, who's going to be in this very chair in half an hour or so. He's written a piece in the Sunday Telegraph, actually, and this is this whole idea about borders, about how our borders are managed after the end of this year. Of course, we're in this transition period, aren't we, where we've legally left the European Union, but in practical terms everything's stayed the same, regardless of whether a deal is done between the UK and the EU in the next few months. The UK is leaving the customs union, leaving the single market, those hulking economic projects of the EU, and so new arrangements on the border are needed.
And this is the border with France, the sea border, but it's also the border between Great Britain and Northern Ireland as well. That's the controversial, difficult thing.
Yeah, so the focus from Michael Gove this morning is on the GB, the Great Britain border with the EU, i.e. not including Northern Ireland, because as you say, right at the heart of so many of the rows last year, and no doubt some of the discussions still to come in the next 6 months, is the whole business of how the border is managed between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and then crucially between Northern Ireland and the Republic.
Now, we know that Boris Johnson is getting very tetchy about leaks in the centre of government, and on cue, Liz Truss, the Trade Secretary, has written a letter to Michael Gove and Rishi Sunak complaining or worried about aspects of this new border, and it's been leaked.
Yes, this letter was leaked to Business Insider the other day, sent, as you say, by Liz Truss to the Chancellor and indeed to Mr Gove. And the Mail on Sunday has a fantastic set of quotes this morning, writing up this leak. One, Dominic Cummings is clearly not shy about ending up in the newspapers, and he found himself all over them. He doesn't appear entirely chastened. I'm not sure that word and him regularly occupy the same sentence. Anyway, it turns out Liz Truss was called into number 10 for what the Mail on Sunday don't quite call a ticking off. Her language is a little stronger for the exchange without coffee that perhaps went on between Liz Truss and Dominic Cummings. The paper suggesting that Dominic Cummings did buy the idea that Liz Truss hadn't leaked this herself, but perhaps suggested it wasn't a good idea to write it down. Don't write anything down in Whitehall that you don't want to see in public. There's a lovely quote as well here, in which Mr Cummings apparently said to special advisors at their meeting on Friday night that there shouldn't be any leaking because they're snakes and reptiles of the media crawling all over this government. So I don't know if that makes me a snake and you a reptile, Katie is an amphibian.
We're all snakes and reptiles and amphibians. That was a quote originally from Trotsky I read elsewhere, Katie. You've chosen a story from the front of the Sunday Telegraph, which is a change in advice, because we were told not that long ago, if possible, use your car. Now ministers are having second thoughts.
Yes, so the government may want to keep about Brexit, but coronavirus has not gone away. And what we saw on Friday was a shift in the tone from the government on people going back to work. Boris Johnson suggesting that if you can go back to work, you should. But the big problem here is lots of people need public transport to do that. So how do you get that all connected? Now, the suggestion in the Telegraph is conversations are ongoing as to how to do the messaging on this. And I just think it points to that difficult balancing act, which is ultimately they do need people to be able to use public transport,